Okay, now today we are going to find out the amount of salt that is dissolved in amount of a given solution or a given liquid. Today we have seawater. So we are going to heat this seawater in an evaporating dish to find out how much salt is dissolved in it. Now to do that, we first take our evaporating dish and put it on the scale to weigh the mass of the evaporating dish. So the mass of evaporating dish is 140.4 grams. So let us approximate it and make it 140. Now by this one, we are going to then transfer the whole salt solution into the evaporating dish. Then we are going to set the whole thing onto a Bunsen burner with heat so that evaporation can take place. So now as you can see, we have put our salt solution into the evaporating dish onto a Bunsen burner. So we are going to wait for it to boil. Now what is going to take place is evaporation is going to take place. Whilst evaporation takes place, then the salt is going to be crystallized. So we are going to wait for the water to boil and for the salt to crystallize. Now as you can see, the solution of the salt solution has started boiling. So now when it boils to a stand, all the water is going to evaporate and the salt will crystallize. So here two processes involved: evaporation of the water that is involved in the salt solution and crystallization of the salt. So we are waiting for some minutes for the salt to crystallize. When all the solution evaporates and the salt crystallizes, we then take it back and weigh. So the amount of salt that we are going to get plus the dish will be subtracted from the empty dish. Then we'll get the total salt that is found in the seawater. You have to be very much careful because when the salt started forming, it will start to shoot up. So when it starts to shoot up, you have to make sure that you collect it with the what? With the petri dish. So this is the petri dish that you can use to block the salt from escaping. So now we can see that the salt is now forming from the solution. Now the condensed water, we can just condense it. Like this to get the water, but we want it to evaporate. So now as you see, the salt is now crystallizing. Now when it started crystallizing, it will start to shoot up. So you have to be very careful in order not to escape some of the mass of the salt formed. So now you can see that the salt is crystallizing now. Now you can see the salt crystallized now. As you can see it from there, it has finally crystallized and it has shooting up, and that is the salt forming. We are going to weigh it back on the scale. Now the salt has now crystallized in the evaporating. So the empty dish was 140. The mass of the salt in the empty dish was 145. So when we do the subtraction, we take 140 from 145 to get 5 grams. So therefore, 30 centimeter cube of seawater contains 5 grams of salt. Thank you.